My dear comrades that are here, this is a joint press conference between the ADC National Youth Wing and some civil society organization. And it reads as follows. Gentlemen of the press, fellow Nigerian youths, distinguished citizens. Nigeria is under democratic siege. What should have been a steady consolidation of 27 uninterrupted years of civil rule since 1999 is now being deliberately undermined by those entrusted to protect it. Institutions meant to defend the will of the people are now being compromised, weakened, and weaponized against democracy itself. Let us be clear. This is not a warning. This is a crisis. As Malam Aminu Kano, of his blessed memory, put it, the democratic humanism of the future can only be built on the ruins of the present corrupt and decaying system. Today, that decay is no longer hidden. It is active, deliberate, and also dangerous. On July 29, 2025, the African Democratic Congress held a lawful INEC meeting under the full supervision of INEC. That meeting dissolved the previous National Working Committee, NWC, produced a new leadership led by distinguished Senator David Mark. INEC received the outcome, verified the process, officially uploaded and recognized this leadership on September 9, 2025. There was no dispute, no objection, no ambiguity. So what changed now? Power pressure and political interference. Months later, individuals who had already resigned resurfaced to challenge a process they had no legal standing in. While the matter remains before the courts, the Court of Appeal ordered maintain status quo ante bellum, the last uncontested position. Yet, INEC choose to ignore established facts, disregard due process, and unlawfully interpret a court order. Let it be stated unequivocally, INEC has no constitutional authority to interpret court orders. That duty belongs strictly to the courts. What INEC has done is not neutrality. It is complicity, partnership, and institutional sabotage. We ask the INEC chairman directly, on what legal basis did INEC act on letters and ex parte motion that has neither been heard nor determined by a court of competent jurisdiction? Why did INEC act on pending motions, rely on letters instead of bringing court orders, assume the powers of the judiciary? This is not mistake, but a violation of the Constitution. We respectfully call on the National Assembly to exercise their constitutional oversight immediately, investigate this great breach, initiate appropriate actions, including the recall or removal of the INEC chairman, because time is of essence. Democracy must be defended with action, not silence. We urge the judiciary to clarify its orders to prevent manipulation, reassert its authority as the sole interpreter of the law, and protect the integrity of Nigerian legal system. We commend the armed forces for defending Nigeria. However, we state clearly the military must remain neutral and stay away from civic democratic actions. This is a civil and constitutional matter. Nigeria must not witness any attempt to use force against lawful democratic expressions. To over 100 million youths of our dear country, this is about our future, our voice, our democracy. We must not defend injustice, nor normalize illegality. Together, let's stand now to defend our democracy or lose everything democracy represents. Our position is very clear. The leadership inaugurated on July 29, 2025, led by Senator David Mark, remains the only legitimate leadership of the ADC. Any attempt to alter this without a final court judgment is illegal, null, void, and unacceptable. We hereby issue a 3-day ultimatum to INEC to immediately restore the Senator David Marks-led leadership on its official portal, publicly apologize to Nigerians for its unconstitutional and partisan conduct, cease all actions based on letters, pending motions, or non-binding processes without express court orders. Respect and uphold the rule of law by retaining from interpretation court directives. Ensure full neutrality and independence in all its operations going forward. We also demand the immediate resignation or removal of the INEC chairman, Amuputel, for presiding over actions that have undermined the credibility of the Commission and democracy in general. To the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Nigeria is not a one-party state, and it can never be a one-party state. Any attempt to weaken opposition forces is a direct threat to democracy. If INEC fails to comply within 74 hours, we will initiate and lawful civic action across all 36 states and FCT of the Federation. ADC youths and concerned Nigerians, including civil society organizations, will lawfully occupy INEC offices nationwide. Sustain civic resistance until full restoration of democratic order. Let it be known, we will not retreat, we will not be intimidated, we will not be silenced, because this is bigger than ADC. This is about Nigeria. Restore democracy or face the resolve of the Nigerian people. INEC, restore democracy. Now.
Members of the press, we welcome you, we appreciate it also. Like you heard from the youth leader, thank you. We have resolved to come out and save democracy. We are to fight for the soul of Nigeria, which is our democracy, we can't do without democracy. It was just recent when the administration of President Tinubu made it very clear there was an attempt by the military to subvert the democracy. In that regard, it means that the president is against any military attempt to take over the government, isn't it? In that respect, we are not expecting the government, we are not expecting that the government itself should be part, when I say government, the institution of governance, and the same thing as we have seen, INEC to be partisan. Now, the emphasis of this particular press conference, which was well articulated by the youth leader, and which we as the civil society organizations are also here to amplify, we are telling the world that for as long as President Tinubu will say no to military interference with regards to his own administration, then there is no any hidden undemocratic forces, to be able to use the institutions of governance, especially this particular individual who has shown his practical position to the world that he's against the tenet of democracy. The court of law in any way did not in any form mention it that go and delist. Yet it was just the usual approach, which we know very much. The court will say, hold on until the final judgment is done. But this man went ahead. And he did not do that until the Kano event took place. You know, we all remember, members of the press, you know very well what we saw within the week. It was because of the avalanche of democratic citizens that have decided to say, we are leaving the failing APC and the failing parties that are not working, we are to convert in ADC. And what was wrong with that? Is that not part of democracy? Then if that happens and we come back here, what happened the next for the government to say, yes, INEC should make sure this happens? No, we're saying no. We are going to be on the streets. This is not a protest for one day. No. It's Occupy INEC Nigeria. And as soon as we're ready, after this expiry of the ultimatum, we are going to take the streets. And our footsteps is going to open up the ears of those that feel they don't want to hear what the Constitution says. Rather, they want to push ahead their own personal agenda. Thank you very much.
My name is Bright Honda. I'm the South-South Zonal Youth Leader. I came in regards of this press statement today in solidarity with our National Youth Leader, Comrade Balarabe. In line with what he had just said, all of us from the South-South, all the youths from the South-South, the 6 states of the South-South are all represented here. And we are aligning ourselves with what our National Youth Leader, Comrade Balarabe, had just mentioned here. We are aligned ourselves. And I strongly believe that we are in a nation of where law is the order of the day. And if anybody do not want to abide by the law, if anybody wants to usurp the law, like what Amopitan just did, Amopitan is usurping the law, the judicial law, by directing himself, directing his own institution to delist the names of ADC leadership. The court never told him to do that. So we solidly stand behind our national leader, we stand behind the electorates, the Nigerians, to say Amopita must resign.
Amopita must go!
Amopita must go! Amopita must go! Enough is enough! ADC! Arise! ADC! Arise!